I love it when this woman comes here, Roberta Miles. Oh, they're still hugging. She runs, well actually, the two of them are running a monthly open mic. It's a closed mic. It's where people are invited to perform there at Cafe Baloo. It is Cafe Cabaret. I have been blessed to be there once, and I will be blessed to be there in June because there's a June get-together on the 19th. This in June, just coming up in a couple of weeks. She does a really, really great show. She is a phenomenal performer, and everybody is trying to get her attention right now because they all like her so much. But when I've heard this woman perform, I've always been stunned and so moved by the gravity and the emotion of what she can pull off. She's really, truly amazing, and I'm always thrilled to hear this woman. So please, ladies and gentlemen, just let you know, we are actually going to, for all of you people who know how the podcasts run, there will be a podcast for each feature over 2 weeks. Because I'm not going to be able to update the podcasts in this next week, this is going to be like there are going to be separate YouTube clips of them, but we're going to run one long podcast for 2 weeks of both of these performances run for 2 straight weeks. So you get to download this stuff from both of them for 2 weeks. It'll be awesome. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way. So in the meantime, we're going to get to an incredibly wonderful, I'm so looking forward to this, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for our first feature this evening. Give it up for Roberta Miles.
Waiting in the depths of hell, the smell of urine so profound, waiting for the damn train to whisk me away to beautiful West Rogers Park, where I live with my mother, stepfather, and little sister, waiting and thinking about growing up. I will never get involved with an older man, even if my parents are divorced. Divorced parents can make a person do self-destructive things. Oh, the notions I had at 15, there were a lot. However, when I was 18, I did get involved with an older man, a much older man, a 30 years older man. By then, my boyfriend had become a full-fledged alcoholic. I had worked in a mental hospital and dated some of my patients. My parents had been divorced for 3 years, and I had decided never to see my biological father again because my mother told me not to. I think I was ready for a sugar daddy. Or at least another daddy. Or at least someone who I perceived as sane. Like someone 30 years older who wanted to have in-depth conversations about life with an 18-year-old while he sat next to me brushing my long and luxurious hair. It really did feel great. Turbulent doesn't even begin to explain my life and my state of mind. We met in an elevator. He pinched my butt and my mind exploded. I had just found an older man who found me attractive. This extraordinary event changed my life, literally, to this day. As he rushed out of the elevator, he blurted a bunch of numbers at me and told me to call. Call? By the time I got to my destination, I had already reasoned that my life was over, and I was a sexual risk taker, so what more could go wrong? I called. Told him who I was, the butt that he had just pinched in the elevator, and he told me to meet him the following night at the Howard Street station. It's a color now, maybe red, and I hear it doesn't reek of urine anymore. And then it began. In my mind, it's a small dark room, and I've taken off all my clothes. I scramble into the bed and pull the covers up over my vulnerability, but the blanket doesn't cover my neurosis, my need to be loved, my confusion. I'm staring at the gray shadows in the cold darkness. Then you walk in, so full of yourself, pumped up, all decked out in your long, bright, white, crisp undershirt and white boxers. My brain feels like it's going to explode. It's not at all as sexy as I thought it would be. It was dangerous and confusing, and it was my life being changed forever. If I hadn't been so giddy and excited while I was teasing you into my life, if you hadn't been so susceptible to crossing a boundary, so eager and ready to dance with me, we wouldn't be here. So you got into the bed and took off your crisp white underwear and held me fast and kissed me while my brain kept repeating, run, this isn't right or good or normal. And then I became lost in the magic, the sensation of your kisses and the comfort of your embrace, the safety. Your eagerness repulsed me, and your kisses were a violation. I was a child flirting with Daddy, but this Daddy became lost in the seduction and crossed a forbidden boundary. I told myself this wasn't sex. I was doing what I needed in order to survive. Survival. Yes, that's what it was. Survival. He rushes me into an exam room and lifts up my crisp white nurse's dress. He is so agitated that I start to feel heady and neurotic. Why am I here? Why am I working in a place where anyone can just push me up against a wall and play with my nipples, my wet crotch, and my huge bundle of paranoia? What is wrong with me? But the perks of this job surpasses what I really get paid for. Sucking on someone's old shrinking dick. He had opened a portal into another world, and I grabbed on and never let go. I have had a psychotic break, spent time in an institution, and have been on heavy medication since his death. I heard he was cocky, not well liked by other doctors, but highly respected, so I decided the adventure could be worth it. I wanted to be one of his girls. I heard he surrounded himself with devastatingly gorgeous women. I wanted to be one of them, because then I would be beautiful. He once told me I was attractive, but not beautiful. I didn't know why, I didn't know how, but it happened. And I look back and realize it was something I did, an impropriety. Unacceptable, an out-of-bounds behavior. But I am an out-of-bounds woman. A psychological question mark. Push the boundaries, and then hate the behavior, hate the person, hate the world. Men are willing participants like lemmings, like moths to the flame. Men are cooties. I demand attention. If I don't get it, you are fucked. If I don't get it, you are an asshole. If I don't get it, you must have 2 balls and a schlong. It's all that simple. Don't pretend to woo me with inexpensive trinkets and think that I'll respond. You see, I've already had the best. Everything else is just crap. It doesn't stir me. Don't take me to a dingy motel. Don't tell me it's the best you can do, please. I've had all the lies I can stomach. If your wife gets a trip around the world and I only get your penis, fuck you. It ain't that great. If your wife gets a maid 3 times a week and I only get an apartment, fuck you. It ain't that great. If your wife decides to leave you and I get stuck with you, fuck you. You ain't that great. So that's how it goes, my friend. If you are stupid enough to engage with me, just remember that at the end of the love affair, I will fuck you. My life has been full of men that were terrible lovers. Or is it me? There, I did the deed, he boasted. I was repulsed. That's what he said. He popped his head out from my ooey gooey wet lips and said, there, I did the deed. Who says shit like that? If I told you I loved you, that would be stupid, right? He wasn't in love with me. He was in love with his idea of me. I liken it to my fixation on Fannie Mae pixies. I want them so bad, but it's my idea of them. I am in love with my idea of those chocolate caramel-coated pecans. Whenever he saw me, he wanted me, and he wanted me bad. He told me I was his ideal woman. How many times have I heard that before? And based on what? The great sex we didn't just have, the drooling kisses, his declaration of love. Why, after the divorce, he had nothing. And I would be stuck with a devoted muck diver, a man who idealized me, but didn't know how to make love to me. Wait, this almost sounds like a reoccurring theme in my life. My life has been filled with men that idealized me but were shitty lovers. I don't need to be idealized, I need to be known. Me. Not the rapping, not the ego, not the constant annoying shit in my head. Me, my soul. And when I make love to, it has to be a perfect fit, body and soul. If he had known why we fucked, why I had let him into my house of God, he would have been crushed. But I will tell you now. I will share it with you now. I'm ready, no matter what you think of me. I did it on a dare. Yes, I made out with a clumsy man, a man who idealized me, a man I didn't find attractive, a man who typically said inappropriate things out of context, a man like that, and I did it on a dare. I'm an asshole. I just proved it. This must be what being in church is like. I don't know, I'm a Jew. But I confess, finally, the stage is a holy place where I can be loved no matter what I say. I did it on a dare, and I'm an asshole. Has my life been full of terrible lovers, or is it just me? He told me he always loved older women. Okay, so that's horrifying. And then he gently pulled on my gobbler. I stood there in amazement. I know that I have no personal boundaries, I know that. And it's not always a good thing. But touching my gobble gobble, that's way worse than a stolen kiss. Fuck you, asshole! Do you think I will ever touch your blue-veined power tool now? It ain't gonna happen. So I says to him, you're not that much younger than me. How old are you? But he was right. He is younger. So I race home and I call my best gay boyfriend and tell him the story, and he asks, is he cute? And I say, it depends on your point of view. And suddenly it occurred to me that I felt better. Point of view. Maybe this all depends on your point of view. I think I'll stop there.